Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second edition of PolyFest, brought to you by India Youth Challenge and Inc. Let's get started. I'm Cheryl Coelho from the India Youth Challenge team, and I'm super excited to welcome you all here today. Hope all the students who have participated in this challenge have had a lot of fun making their machines, playing on the machines inbuilt, and creating some amazing machines has a solution to a lot of sustainable development goals. For everyone who has joined in for the first time, Ink Talks has partnered with Polyup to bring to you India Youth Challenge, a unique web-based platform where students get to innovate with math, create whatever they can imagine, and build projects on sustainable development goals. It's indeed been an amazing journey of 7 weeks, and many people have been a part of it. Today, as we celebrate the PolyFest, I welcome you once again. Without much ado, I would call upon Ink Talks founder and CEO Lakshmi Praturi. Lakshmi is a business leader, an entrepreneur, a story curator, and a former venture capitalist. She is really passionate about creating social impact and helping the community around her. Lakshmi, over to you to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. This is a very, very exciting time for us because we are going to be launching this challenge. So let me tell you a little bit about what is exciting about this. The mission of Inc. is to accelerate journeys of game changers. It is about finding people who are leaders and how do we make them be really, really successful. Now, what do we mean by leaders? Leaders are people who can imagine the future, who can not just imagine, but own the future and also take us forward. Now, in that, we really feel our youth plays a really, really big role. We want to see some great leaders emerge out of our K through 12 programs. And for leadership, you need a very, very well rounded background. You need to learn math and logic as the first building block, which is extremely important no matter where you go. And then you need to learn uh, design thinking and social impact. How do we need to build uh, communities, build systems so that they can create the impact that is necessary? And finally, what we need to learn is a very, very interdisciplinary approach of starting and running companies. How do you have that approach? So we really, really are excited about bringing that interdisciplinary approach, bringing that leadership possibility. Our goal is to see each one of you, youth leaders out there, run your own company, run your own destiny, and what can we do to facilitate that? So that's the journey we are on with you. And we want all of you to participate because this is the one space where there are no economic barriers, there are no language barriers, you're building machines. And we have a program here that is going into schools, private schools, as well as government schools and foundation schools, etc. Later on, you'll hear from leaders at Enphase because of their wonderful gesture. We are able to roll this out to foundation schools right away. So that is in a sense of the program. This is not just a math challenge. This is a lot more. This is about developing great leaders out of India who can work with people like them from other countries and build companies and be great leaders. That's overall the program. Now, to explain the program, I would like to invite someone to join me in just a second. It's important for all of us to understand the importance of partnerships. I talked to you about Enphase, who's because of who we are able to go to parikrama schools, etc. I also want to talk about PolyUp, which is really our main partner to be able to bring this challenge to you. PolyUp is led by a lot of well-rounded thought leaders who are seasoned Silicon Valley people. So Zore Ilahian, who's a dear friend and a philanthropist and business leader, she's part of it. We also have professors from Stanford who are part of it. The person who's going to represent the whole PolyUp clan today is going to be Amir. He's a CEO and co-founder of PolyUp. He's been a co-founder of Blue Chip Systems, Crunch Media Works, and 3+1 Technology, etc. All you need to know about Amir is that he's had many successes in Silicon Valley. But what he's completely passionate about, that he's dedicating his time building this company right now, is about how do you make being a leader accessible to a young person by making math easy, by making creative thinking easy, by making entrepreneurship easy. And he was also the co-founder and president of iBridges. He's been helping with young high-tech entrepreneurs for a long time. So with that, I would like to invite my friend and an amazing leader, Amir, to talk about the challenge and why we are all excited to create these wonderful youth leaders. On to you, Amir.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lakshmi. Really appreciate your introduction. I want to commend you and your team for the amazing work that you have done for the India Youth Challenge. It's mind-boggling how fast your team has been able to make the program to come together and be an open door for many of the K-12 students in your country. India is an amazing country, an amazing force in innovation. So we are very excited to working with you. Really appreciate that. So let me just give you a little bit overview of how the PolyUp has started and what's the goal. Really, the main point that we all know is learning things like maths, science, computer science, robotics, all these different technologies are critical to be able to change the world for better. Things that happens in Silicon Valley and many other places in the world, people that start from like 2-3 co-founders come together, have an amazing idea alone will not work. They have to put it in action. They need these skills, what you learn in school, to be put in place to solve hard problems in an innovative way, in a solutions that people haven't thought about before. And is not only the amazing part is about the solution itself. Sometimes big companies actually, the solutions that they bring to the market is not necessarily new, but their approach on how to implement and scale it is so unique that all other people before them, all other companies before them were not successful, and they succeed. Is an amazing process in this innovation. I have had the privilege to go through this, 6 other times. I made 6 companies before this. 3 of them end up to have the successful product they sold. A couple of them are in process of selling. They're growing still. One of them failed. And I actually learned the most about how to do this from the one that failed. Because in many cases, when you succeed, the success sometimes, in many cases, you need luck, you need the help of many people. And sometimes when you succeed, you think you did it alone. But the reality is there is a lot of people and a lot of support comes around, and right timing and all those to make it successful. And when you don't succeed, you actually learn the most. And many cases, even in the cases that succeeded, many cases we were not in good shape, didn't happen. We had to pivot. Pivot means you change your direction, you change your business model. There are many changes has to happen. And unfortunately, from outside, you only see the big successes. Any of the big successes, don't think it happened alone. They always have been many try and error, many failures, many issues before that, which you don't see, but you see the big success. Now, looking at that, what it tells us is it's critical to know math, to know science, to know computer science, to know robotics, to learn AI. It's critical to know them. It's critical to know them in terms of applications, but it's not enough to become innovator. So to be able to do innovation, you really need more ingredients to do it. And that's really how the PolyHub gets defined. How to connect your math, the percent and division and fraction, to pre-calculus and algebra and geometry, to advanced calculus and differential equation, whatever you name it. How you connect those to solving actual applications in feasible and scalable fashion. But to do that, in addition, you need to know those, in addition to apply to the applications, you also need to have the ability to be able to get together as a set of team members that fund the company, put the company together to collaborate and start the company. This is a highly social phenomenon. Innovation in this day and age does not happen individually. You don't have an Einstein to sit down and think about, oh, I have an amazing idea, and suddenly things happen. Things do not happen that way. The way that they happen is you need to have a social bonding with your co-founders. You need to inspire others. You need to lead, and you need to bring more and more number of people around this to be able to have a successful startup to go ahead. So this is this phenomena, this learning, this leadership, communication, collaboration is as important as learning the math, the science, the technology. One without others will not be enough to be innovator. And that's the core of PolyHub. I want to congratulate all of you that have done amazing work. You learned many things by doing the machines that was in math and science, math and computer science and robotics, and then you build amazing machine in creativity. And the big news I have for you is now the path is open for you to join to Innovation Hub. Anybody more than 500 coin can join it. Anybody with more than 1,500 coin can become a co-founder, and anyone more than 3,000 coins, Polycoins, can actually become CEO, create a new company, and work on products. This summer, the goal is to do to build carbon removal machines. This is what Elon Musk X Prize is about. The kids in Innovation Hub are determined to put solutions that they combine and submit as a submission to the X Prize, Elon Musk Prize. So I really encourage you to make sure you come for the program in the summer and have an amazing ride by being able to actually put what you learned or the past challenge into practical work and bring it to the point that the solution can actually turn to be real life impact at a large scale. This is going to go through the summer, and those companies are going to continue go forward. I really commend those of you that actually win the leaderboards, and I encourage you to make sure this summer join other students. There are some right now already from India that are part of the Innovation Hub. You can actually go to the website. There is a Discord at the bottom of the website. Just join the Discord. Anybody can join. You can see all the activities they're doing. And from there, you can get the information of how to become part of the Innovation Hub, join these companies, and continue the amazing journey you had till now going forward. So I'll stop here. Again, commend all of you that made amazing work. I want you to know you are the leaders that actually initiated the India Youth Challenge, and you are the ones that opened the path for tens and 100,000 and millions other kids to become innovators in India. So thank you, and wish you all the best success.
Thank you, Amir, for giving your insights to our students. It's been lovely associating with PolyUp. Moreover, students, this is a time you really need to think about something that you can innovate into, the PolyUp Innovation Hub. And as Amir has just said and declared, that all of you could be a part of Innovation Hub with 500 points. Thanks, Amir, once again for joining us today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
This PolyFest is a celebration of our recently concluded Spring Challenge. We have had almost 500 students who were a part of this beautiful journey with us from different backgrounds. But before we go to the students and the experiences, let's quickly have a look at how and from where these students were picked up. As mentioned earlier, we have had beautiful partners with golden hearts to support us, and this event wouldn't have been possible without it. I now request Vipasha to please play the videos for all of us and listen to our teachers who have made this event successful. Without these teachers, whom our dear students called Akka and Didi, that wouldn't have been possible. So let's listen out to what they have to share with each one of us about PolyFest.
PolyUp is innovate with math. It helps students understand the mathematical concepts and connect those concepts with the real world problems or the concerns they really care about. It's a very interesting 3D world which makes mathematics interesting for the students. Students can easily understand the mathematical concepts and, more importantly, the abstract concepts. PolyUp not only teaches you math, but it also teaches you computer science, robotics, designing, and many more such things. There is no limitation to your imagination. You can learn each and everything at your own pace.
My name is Ankit Chawla. I'm a school leader with Ideal Schools. I am glad that this year few of our teachers and some of our students were able to apply on a PolyUp challenge. It's a 7-week challenge where students get to explore a new virtual world. I believe that this platform has humongous potential. The platform is very user-friendly, it's easy, it's intuitive. You can do drag and drop to practice creativity. It has a practical approach to design solution to any problem statement. Student can choose a very simple problem to fly a rocket on Z-axis to creating a city that is self-sustained with solar power. It gives you a wide variety of problems to solve, and continuous practice of solution to this problem builds scientific temper and critical thinking in students. Students are able to visualize their solution, which is very required, especially for this generation, as it is moving forward to solve problems for the nation and for the world.
PolyUp is an extremely interesting platform to visualize math and to learn math very, very visually, something that we did not do back in our school days. I was extremely happy and extremely proud of all the machines that our students produced over the last 6 weeks. And I think I cannot be more grateful to PolyUp for bringing this opportunity for our students.
Yes, these were the teachers without whom this wouldn't have been possible. I must say, we were very lucky to have Selfless Teachers Association with us. They were following up with us day in and day out. We didn't have to stop anywhere to think about how the session is going to be. They always kept us informed. Thank you, teachers, for helping us. There are few teachers who I would sincerely like to thank upon at this stage. The Parikrama staff, the IT staff members, our very own Inc. members who came up to teach. Without you, this journey wouldn't have been successful. Thank you so much, dear Didis and Akas, for being there as a support system. In this summer challenge, we had various schools, as I mentioned earlier. We had schools like Jubilee Public School, Ekya School, Presidency School, I Teach, and Parikrama associated. Each student was different. Each experience was different. And this is an experience we are going to cherish a long time. And Parikrama and I Teach was a real special experience because these were the students who made all their shortcomings into a great achievement. So before we move further, let's have a look at what these students have really come up from and how their journey has been with us. Vipasha, could we have the video, please?
Bangalore, throughout the world for its sunrise IT industry, has a side to it that is seldom seen. This bleak situation begs the question, can the poorest children from these slums ever get access to quality education? Parikrama was founded in 2003 to impart quality education that prepares the poorest of poor children for life. Through the sheer quality of its education, it has been revolutionizing the way we educate our poor.
You first have to change yourself and then try to change the world.
To ensure that the child is ready to pursue dreams, the Parikrama model has an end-to-end program by providing education from KG to 12. Parikrama provides scholarship and professional training for children to go through universities or even vocational training before placing them in jobs.
It's been 8 years since I've been working in Parikrama. It's been a great experience so far. A happy moment for me was to see the children really doing well in their 10th and then later on picking up good offers in companies and definitely speaking wonderful English.
But serving the poorest of the poor means challenges in the path. The children come from households which are filled with violence and despair, and none of the parents have been to school. To ensure that the child continues to learn despite the stifling economic conditions, Parikrama has adopted a 360-degree development program that includes total nutrition, comprehensive healthcare, and family care. It's the circle of life, the Parikrama way. Today, we witness a miracle as a proud ex-student, now a student of law, returns to the school for a happy reunion.
It's very important for us to stay connected. And the reason why I want to be connected with y'all is because I look at y'all as role models for the younger children. Shiva, now you're working in an IT company, right? Well, now that you're doing your biotechnology, you're preparing for your chartered accountancy exams. Yeah? So, if anyone has to fall ill, please fall ill and go to Manipal Hospital because she's the nurse there. You're an entrepreneur, that you're now a hotel professional. Okay, now Jalajakshi, you are very special. You're now a teacher in Parikrama. One of the questions that I want to know from you is all that you learned from Parikrama, are you being able to apply it in the outside world?
I've learned a lot of things from Parikrama. The confidence that I have now is because of Parikrama. And the knowledge that I've gained, I think that is also because of it. So I think I'm nowhere less to any other student in class, and I stand up.
You all remember the Parikrama motto? How does it go?
Parikrama remains passionately committed to transforming lives through top-class education.
I enjoy debating because I can express my point of view, and I'm second to none. Am I inferior to anyone? Not me. And we Parikrama earned this special mention.
And in the process, to influence an entire system to change.
No bridge too far, no mountain too high. On Parikrama, you must try, try, try. No bridge too far, no mountain too high. On Parikrama, you must try, try, try. No bridge too far, no mountain too high. On Parikrama, you must try, try, try. No bridge too far, no mountain too high. On Parikrama, you must try, try, try. Honesty, integrity shall flow in our vein. Care and compassion, humanity shall reign. Through to walk with our heads held high. On wings of love we shall fly, fly, fly. No bridge too far, no mountain too high. On Parikrama, you must try, try.
So yes, this was Parikrama Foundation for you. We will now have the iTouch video played for you to see who are these students and have been a crucial part. The teachers who have helped us throughout have been from iTeach.
I don't think of school as preparing students for life, but I think of school very much as life. If you think about a middle income kid's day, the school gives them just the academic bit typically, right? They go to school, they study for 5-6 hours, and they come back home. It's their parents who then put them into piano classes. It's their parents who then buy them books and make them join libraries. It's their parents who will take care of the socio-emotional learning. Their friend group is one that they can go play sports with and go to coaching classes and all of those things, right? Students coming from low income families, our students, don't have access to all of these things. So it becomes our moral responsibility, it becomes our responsibility to make sure that we are delivering all of these development means to the students. And that's why we design our week to A, be longer, 45 hours, but then B, have a representation of all of these different aspects of life. These 45 hours, only about 60% is actually spent core inside the classroom. Nearly 40% is a set of about 6 programs that we run. Are a reading program, sports and fitness is the second part of it. Antrang, which is our college and career readiness program, that's the third bit of it. The fourth bit of it is the advisory circle. And the fifth bit, which is actually really cool, is the hobby clubs, each of which is managed by a professional organization so that there can be rigor in it, there can be excellence in it.
So for example, Cool Coach is one of our very strong programs that we run across all the IT schools. Now imagine an 8th grader or a 9th grader or a 10th grader, barely in their adolescence, actually doing CrossFit routines every alternate days in their week will really push them to believe that whatever activity we are taking part in has to be done at excellence. It's not just about being there physically present, but ensuring that they are doing it at certain rigor and excellence.
This school is really good that Bhaiya and Didi is really works like friend with us. If we have any problem, they give solution and they can suggest us what should we do. And lots of things happen in our school. Fun activities like we have chess and carom, JFK, then council meeting, then we have to share our thoughts. Lots of things happen in our school. PE period also. We can play.
There's a student vision that we have. It's a 4-point student vision.
Will A, go to and through college. B, will lead a healthy and a balanced lifestyle. C, will be aware of what are his interests and abilities so that he can make a suitable career choice. And D, own India's development. Saurabh and every other student like him, they will have to walk out with a belief that it's in my control to change my destiny. My background or where I come from will not define what career I pursue or what life choices I make.
Yes, indeed. It's been an experience worth. Here, I'm extremely delighted to let you know all that the participation of the students from iTeach and Parikrama has been made possible by a very generous grant from Enphase Energy. Enphase Energy is an American technology company headquartered in California. Enphase designs and manufactures software-driven home energy solutions that span solar generation, home energy storage, and web-based monitoring and control. And it's my pleasure to now request Mr. Sunil, who is the Vice President and Managing Director at Enphase Energy, to speak a few words to our students.
Hello, good morning, very good morning to all of you. It's very interesting, or in other words, I can say it's very thrilling to see, energy topics like solar energy is being handled by, schools and school children like this. It was not the case a few years ago, but now it is actually becoming possible, because of the events like this. Our company, Enphase Energy, is one of the world's well-known leading residential solar system companies, and we are focused more on homes and small buildings. And we are actually a US-based energy company created by or founded by two friends and in 2006. And one of them actually is from Bangalore. He's actually studied in Bangalore, did his engineering in Bangalore, Mr. Raghu, and then he went to the US, and then he created 5 different startups in the US, and this one, Enphase, has been his most successful startup so far, and that I'm very happy to say that he's actually from Bangalore. Now, what we are trying to do as a company is to, our mission is to provide clean energy to everyone in the world. That's our mission, and and we are doing that by, or we want to do that by making it very easy to purchase, install, and operate. To give you a sense of that, very soon, everyone in the world will be able to order a solar system online for your home, then track its manufacturing and shipping status and all that, and then get it delivered to your house and get it installed to you, in your house. Now, this is somewhat like, the Swiggy or Zomato food delivery model where, it's all about food there. But what we are trying to do is to make it an experience which is very similar to that, where then, so that energy also becomes a very important topic of discussion, important topic of concern, among everybody at home. And that's what we are trying to do. So you will be able to see that in India also, where we will have our online platform where we can order the solar system and get it installed in your home. We want to make it as simple as that, actually. So that's why I'm so thrilled to see this kind of initiative, in schools, because we are actually making the right foundation or paving the right foundation to get there. Enphase and the schools have been connected, pretty well in the past. I think all around the world there are about 1,000 schools that are run by Enphase solar systems, and we are looking to do similar things in India also, where we will have a program to go work with schools in India also to make them solar in future. With this kind of initiatives, I can see some benefits, more benefits. Like one thing is that young people in India, will understand the clean energy and they grow up with the understanding of clean energy. Then they can, talk about those systems. They can learn about the system, talk about the systems, and they can understand how simple it is and how safe it is to operate, even though it's a power system. They'll grow up asking their parents, about putting a solar system in their house, which is actually another good thing, because that way everyone in this world, will be able to contribute to the clean energy mission. And then that is a way to make the world a better and more sustainable place. So once again, thank you for all your interest and all your passion, all your energy into this challenge, which is all about energy. I'm very happy to see solar energy being a part of this topic in this initiative, and we're all going to benefit from this for the future. I would like to wish everybody all the best in this initiative and challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil, for such lovely words to our students. And yes, we are really happy that we are a part of this initiative with you. Now, I have a very special person to address and speak to us about how it has been to work with these kids. We have Akash Singh, the resource mobilization team leader at Parikrama, to share his thoughts and views of their association with the kids and with Polya. Akash, over to you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Akash Singh, and I work with Parikrama Humanity Foundation. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for giving us Parikrama and the children of Parikrama this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful initiative. So just to give you a brief background about Parikrama, where our children come from, and what is that we do. Parikrama was started in 2003 by our founder CEO, Ms. Shukla Bose. The whole idea behind starting Parikrama was to build a bridge that that serves as a bridge between the rich and the poor. So we realized that there were many children in Bangalore that did not have access to quality education. So we started our schools back in 2003, and now we have about 4 schools and a junior college. Our approach to education is such where we take care of children from age 5 till 25. So we provide quality education till they finish their 10th and then their 12th, and we fund their graduation till they become critical thinkers and contributing members of the society. So at Parikrama, we believe that children coming from underserved backgrounds too deserve an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become critical thinkers. And we have been doing this through our schools, and we believe that just providing education is not enough. We need to provide them with the skill sets and opportunities that children coming from privileged backgrounds would also get. And this is where initiatives such as the PolyFest come into picture, because while we are running CBSE quality schools, we believe in creating all these opportunities through which they can learn, grow, and explore. Imagine the number of children who are out there who do not have access to education. Imagine the number of children who are out there who are probably really good at math and science, but they do not know it because they haven't got the opportunity to learn and explore. And this is where we come into the picture, where we create this nurturing atmosphere for them, where they can learn and grow, like I said, not just in their day-to-day classrooms, but through various different activities and exposures. So with the help of this event here, we have had so many of our children who have been always so curious in learning and growing, actually getting an opportunity to explore and learn and meet different people, and basically just make the most out of this whole process of education that we have created for them. And we really thank this initiative, and we thank you for giving us this opportunity to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Akash, for joining us today and sharing your insights on how this journey has been with you and for Parikrama. Let me now introduce to you Jyoti Rao Kunjur, a certified storyteller from Kathalaya, an internationally accredited storytelling institute based in Bangalore. As a professional storyteller, over the 9 years, Jyoti has conducted over 2,000 storytelling sessions. Indeed, for students who have been in between the age group of 3 to 14. We are so privileged to have her here today. Jyoti, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, I'm going to sing a song to begin with, and I hope you like it, and I hope you join in. So come on, bring out your singing voices, and let's all sing a song which is very relevant to what all of you guys are doing. Reduce, reuse, recycle too. Come on, everyone, it's easy to do. Reduce, reuse, recycle too. Come on, everyone, it's easy to do. When you go shopping, take a bag or two. If they give you plastic, say no, thank you. Reduce, reuse, recycle too. Come on, everyone, it's easy to do. When you are too big to play with your toys, do give them to other girls and boys. Reduce, reuse, recycle too. Come on, everyone, it's easy to do. When you put rubbish into the bin, think which bin it goes in. Reduce, reuse, recycle too. Come on, everyone, it's easy to do. If you and me reduce our waste, the world will become a better place. Once again, a very good morning to all of you, and especially to the young boys and girls out here who are working so hard and doing such wonderful things in the areas of sustained development and carbon removal machines. Oh my God, you guys are heroes, and I doff my imaginary hat to all of you. Skook and I are privileged to be a part of this wonderful venture spearheaded by Inc. and Polyup. It's a great initiative, and I'm so happy that our children are getting an opportunity to do this. So thank you so much, and it's an honor to be a part of PolyFest. Well, when Cheryl introduced me, she said I was a storyteller, and that's true. So today I'm here to tell you a story. Now, this story was written way back in 1990 by one of the greatest children's story illustrators and writers called Chris Van Allsburg. If you have watched Jumanji, you should know that that movie came from a book written by Chris Van Allsburg. Now, this story is called Just a Dream, and it is about what could happen in our future if we don't take care of Mother Earth. The hero of our story is a little boy called Walter. Now, like every day, Walter was walking back from school, and he went into the bakery and bought himself a yummy donut, which was inside a paper bag. So he took out the donut and quickly ate it up, licked his fingers. The jelly was so tasty. And then he wiped his hands on the brown paper cover, balled it, and just threw it away. When he reached home, he saw that his neighbor, Rosie, a little girl, was watering a tree. She said, "Hey, Walter, this is my birthday present, and I'm so excited about it." Walter couldn't understand. He could think of 1,000 gifts for his birthday, and a tree was not among them. His birthday was a few days away, and he told Rosie, "I don't want a dumb tree for my birthday." Now that evening, it was Walter's turn to keep the garbage out, and he was supposed to segregate it. He was supposed to put the glass separately and the can separately and everything else in one more bin. But do you think Walter did that? Nah, he just dumped everything into one big bin and went inside because he wanted to watch his favorite show on TV. Now, this show was about a boy who lived in the future. Now, this boy had a tiny aeroplane of his own which could land on the roof of his house. He had a robot that did all his work for him. And he had a machine that could cook anything he wanted. Now, Walter wanted to be in that boy's shoes. He wanted to be in the future with all these gizmos. Why was he stuck in the present? He kept wondering. That night, when Walter went to bed, he realized that something strange was happening. His bed had taken him into the future. When Walter woke up and opened his eyes, he saw a horrendous sight. There were mountains of plastic bags everywhere around him, and the stench, it was terrible. There were houses half buried in that mountain of trash out there. No people. And then he realized that there was a street sign and it said Floral Street. That was his road. He used to live there. What had happened to it? It was looking so disgusting. He thought that maybe it was not a dream and a nightmare. So he quickly covered himself with his blanket and tried to go back to sleep. But when he woke up, he found his bed on top of a tree, a giant tree. But there was only one tree and no other trees anywhere else. And to his horror, 2 loggers were right below his tree and they were getting ready to chop off the tree. He was at least hoping that they were using the wood for something important till he saw their jackets and the sign on the jacket said, Quality Toothpick Company. Oh, poor Walter. He thought of all the times that he had used up hundreds of toothpicks for nothing at all. Why was this happening? What was this nightmare? Walter didn't have a clue. He covered his head with his blanket and tried to go back to sleep. But this time around, he found himself and his bed on top of a tall smokestack. Oh my God, and that smokestack was belching out noxious fumes. Oh. Walter's eyes started watering. He couldn't breathe. What was this place? He saw a workman close by and he said, What's happening? What is this factory here? And the workman said, Oh, this is a factory that makes medicines for burning eyes and for coughs. Would you like some? Walter said, No, thank you. And just went back to bed, hoping that the nightmare would end. He closed his eyes. He did manage to sleep for a while. But when he woke up, he found himself in a place with lots of snow. There was an icy wind blowing. It was bone-chillingly cold. Where was he? And then he saw a few people climbing up this mountain. And he asked them, Where am I? Where are you going? And they said, We are going to stay in the hotel that is on top of Mount Everest. Right there. Can you see that? And when Walter turned around, he saw this huge hotel with garish neon lights on top of Mount Everest. Can you believe it? This can't be happening. Oh no, thought Walter. And he closed his eyes and prayed that the nightmare would end. And it did. When he opened his eyes the next time, he was back in his room. He quickly ran to the window and looked out. Everything looked the way he remembered it. What did Walter do next? He quickly ran out and picked up that paper bag that he had balled and thrown. He picked it up and put it in the dustbin. And then he sorted the garbage and made sure that when the garbage pickers came, they didn't have to do the job for him. And then he realized that he should do something if, he wanted to make sure that the future was better. A few days later, it was Walter's birthday, and his friends had come over for some cake and some soda and some games and for some fun. Well, they gave him a lot of gifts. They gave him an electric train set. They gave him Lego blocks. They gave him an inflatable dinosaur, books. He got lots of presents. He thanked them for all those presents. And after they had finished eating the cake, he took them out to the garden and said, "This is my favorite gift of all." And right there was a tree. And he said, "I will water and take care of this tree every single day." A few days later, Walter had another dream, and this dream took him to another place. Everywhere it was lovely and green, and he found his bed at the foot of two gigantic trees. The clothes were hanging on the clothesline. There was a man pushing an old-style lawnmower, not the one with petrol or gas, which goes bub, 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 bub. No, it was an old-style lawnmower. And then Walter realized that he had gone to the past. He spoke to that man who was pushing the lawnmower, and the man said, "Can you see these trees here? My great-grandmother Rosie planted this, and the other one was planted by her neighbor, Walter. They are so beautiful, and all of us bless them and thank them every day for this wonderful act of kindness." It was then Walter realized that he was actually in the future, a future that was green, a future maybe where people used laundry lines instead of dryers. People were more conscious of their choices, but the future nonetheless, and it was a beautiful future. When Walter woke up the next day and he was back in the present, he made up his mind that he would do everything in his power to make sure that the future looked better for everyone and that the world would be a better place. Well, that was the story, an abridged version of Just a Dream by Chris Van Allsburg, and I hope all of you enjoyed it. And now I would like to call upon the screen 4 young friends of mine, Viraj, Vignesh, Nayantara, and Ruchika. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are all of you today? All good? Good. All right. All right.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I just had a couple of questions, and then if you have a few questions, you can ask me. So, Vignesh, I remember you telling me that you had written a similar story about the future. So, can you tell us a couple of ideas about this story or about this story? Can you just tell us something about it?
Yes, ma'am. It's about that a few trees can change the whole future.
Wow.
A few acts of helping the present can change the whole future, but a few acts of helplessness can change the future in a bad way.
That's right. Okay, and I'm so glad that you had the foresight to think of this and write this. So amazing effort. Nayantara, I hope you enjoyed the story. And can you tell me which was the scariest part of the story for you? The scary part of the future. Which was the scariest part?
Honestly, it was the beginning when he was transported to his own street, the street that he lived in, and he found how it had been turned. I think that's really scary because I love my home, and if that happened to me, then I would be terrified because I don't know if it's the real thing or it's like, well, I wouldn't know what was going on. So
Yeah, absolutely. But we don't think of these things when we do these random acts of, what shall I say, being not nice to Mother Earth, right? We think nothing is going to happen, but that's not true. Every small act like that will have a cumulative effect sometime or the other in the future, right? Okay. Ruchika, अगर आप हमसे कुछ सवाल करना चाहेंगी या आपको क्या अच्छा लगा, क्या अच्छा नहीं लगा स्टोरी में, अगर आप बताएंगे तो हमें भी अच्छा लगेगा.
मुझे स्टोरी से ये पता चला कि जो भी फ्यूचर होता है प्रेजेंट पे डिपेंड करता है. जो हम प्रेजेंट से करते हैं वही फ्यूचर को हमको मिलता है. इसलिए उसको वो मिलते थे.
बिल्कुल ठीक कहा आपने रुचिका. Absolutely right. What we do today determines how our future is going to be. And Viraj, can you tell me whether you were able to associate the story with the things that you've been doing for Ink and Polya? Is there some kind of connection?
Ma'am,
do you see something similar in the work you did? Will it help our future?
Yes, ma'am. Making machines in PolyUp help us in future. The solutions for SDG goals.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nandara, Viraj, Vignesh, and Ruchika. You've been wonderful participants. But before I sign off and you sign off, did you have any questions for me? I'm only talking. Anything, anyone? Yes, Nayantara has a question. Yes, Nayantara.
I had a question as how do we ensure that the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals truly become an integral part of every human being's life to make our planet a cleaner, healthier place to live in?
Well, I would think that, not all of us have the opportunities that you wonderful children have, where you get to develop machines and do, these amazing things that you are doing. But Nayantara, I think in our own way, if we do small things like sorting our garbage or being more conscious of the products we use, making sure that we plant trees and use things less, the reduce, reuse, recycle mantra, if we follow that in our everyday life, I think that will go a long way in sustained development.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. Yes, Ruchika.
I have a question that जो भी हमने SDG में बनाए थे goals या फिर जो solutions वो real life में कैसे यूज होंगे?
वो रियल लाइफ में, सॉरी मुझे सुनाई नहीं दिया.
वो रियल लाइफ में कैसे अप्लाई करेंगे?
अरे आप जो डेवलप करेंगे, एक तो आपका विजन है, आप सोच रहे हैं कि मेरे ये बनाने से लोगों को बहुत हेल्प होगी, वो ही एक बड़ी बात है. अगर आप ऐसा सोचेंगे तो आप जो भी करेंगे ऐसा ही सोच के करेंगे, है कि नहीं? हाँ, तो आप जो डेवलप करते हैं, इफ यू कैन डेवलप थिंग्स that can be used every day, I think that will be a wonderful thing that you can do, Ruchika. So जब भी आप कुछ डेवलप करते हो तो आप ये सोच के करो कि आम आदमी इसको कैसे यूज कर सकता है. How can this be used by so many people? So something that everybody can use. अगर आप ऐसा करेंगे तो बहुत आपके लिए helpful होगा. All right? Okay. Thank you so much, the four of you. Keep up the good work, and I loved interacting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jyoti.
My pleasure.
And Skook. This was a fun session indeed and a very interactive one. Thanks for being there with us.
My
today.
pleasure.
Thank you, students, for joining us for this session. It was really nice to see how well our students have connected to sustainability and taking up it has their own responsibility to take care of this planet. In fact, most of our projects submitted during this spring challenge have been on different topics related to sustainable development, such as smart city, carbon removal, atomic structure, water for all, etc. I now request Vipasha to play a few machines that have been submitted to us. Let's have a look at them. Thank you.
Hi everyone, before starting, you must know me, right? So let me introduce myself. I am Vignesh. I am from Hyderabad in Telangana. My hobbies are animating and playing outdoor games. I am from class 7. I study in Jubilee Hills Public School. Now let's talk about my polyp experience. My polyp experience was really wonderful. At first, my school recommended all the students polyp. So I thought it would be good if I tried it because I really loved 3D modeling and I wanted to learn a lot about it. Then I found out that my best friend was in the previous batch of poly. So I thought it would be good if I asked him his experience so that I can try it way better. So I asked him his experience. His response convinced me to join polyp and that's what I did. And it was really fun during the classes. They taught really well and I started making machines all day long. I made many good machines. A few days later, my friend Jagan invited me to his polyp development team called the Samurais. I was really interested in developing new things, so I joined. Currently, me and Jagan are making a few prototypes for polyp. Then, my polyp teachers invited me to PolyFest, for which I am making this video. I don't know what is going to happen next, but mind you, I'm sure it is going to be fun. Yep, now let's start the video. Talk about this city I made in polyup.com. Polyup.com is a really fun website to take your creativity to the next level. You can create many 3D models like robots and all. Be sure to check the link in the description. Yeah, so now let's talk about the city. The city I made mostly looks up onto the removal of carbon and the supply of vaccines. So now let's talk about the supply of vaccines first. So there are 4 houses for people, and these are the hospitals. This is the testing part of the hospital, and the other these 3 buildings are the part for the patients. And here, these 2 buildings are actually dispensaries which send people for mobile vaccination. So here you see, in each house there is only one person because if there are any side effects, like if a person gets fever due to vaccination, to reduce the spread of it, there's only one person here, and he's getting ready, and here, and so you see this vaccine here, which is already there, so that the doctor won't waste more time. So now let's talk about how the used vaccines are dealt. So here there's this furnace. Yeah, there's this furnace. There's this furnace which heats all these vaccines, and so that all the germs are killed, and then these vaccines are pushed into this container, which then fall down into this huge storage facility, underground facility. Now let's talk about how the city gets vaccines. So here you see this truck, right? This car taking this huge truck. So this gets enough amount of vaccinations demanded by the hospitals. So they take leftover vaccines or new ones directly from the government, and then are tested here. Then these vaccines are sent to the dispensaries by car. Yeah. So now let's talk about the removal of carbon. The removal of carbon works with more trees. So there are more trees in the city to reduce carbon dioxide. But trees don't work all the time, don't they? Yeah. At night times when trees don't work, when trees give out carbon dioxide, I plan to make this drone.
which has this vacuum in the bottom and sucks up all the air and only absorbs carbon dioxide by the carbon absorbing gases like potassium and sodium hydroxide. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out Poly.
Hi everyone, my name is Priviraj. I am from Presidency High School, Nizamabad, Telangana. I have prepared a machine on waterborne disease in Polyp. In this machine, there are 10 houses situated near a lake, and the people from the houses take water from the lake daily for their daily purposes. But after some days, they stopped taking because they suffered from cholera, a waterborne disease, and they fell sick in all the houses. So they called an engineer. So he devised a solution to bring a water purifier. So he brought a water purifier, but this purifier has some problem. If the water is not purified correctly, it shows a red signal. If we press on the red signal, it turns into white. That is, we are purifying the water correctly. So, if we complete the total reddish thing, that is unpurified water, so we can say that the totally purified water is sent into the houses. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nandara Menon. I am 11 years old and I live in Bangalore. I am studying in grade 6 in EK Schools, Bangalore, and I got to know of this opportunity through my school. It was great working on the Poly platform, and I had fun doing the CS, robotics, and math machines. Making my own machines was sometimes an uphill task, but I quite enjoyed how the challenges made me think, visualize, and execute my ideas in making my own machines. Overall, it was a really interesting experience. Now, let me show you the machine I worked on. This is based on the UN Sustainable Development Goal 7, Affordable and Clean Energy. So, this is a part of a village community center. The villagers had to walk long distances for potable water, their daily needs, and had to physically draw water out. Our aim is to provide the villagers with easy access to potable water. For this, there is a well at the community center with a pump and a storage tank. Wind and or solar energy is used to power the pump and draw water to store it in the tank. So this is a typical day at my Smart Village Water Collection Center. There is a water collection room close to the pump provided with multiple taps. These taps are fitted with sensors to minimize wastage of water. Villagers can take the required amount of water from these taps. So the room has a number of windows for ventilation and allows natural light and air in. The room is provided with lamps for use after sunset. So when I power on my machine, as you can see, when I tap on the window and the door, it opens up. And there are two doors, one at the front and one at the back for the people to go out, so that when one person is going in, they don't clash in with the person coming out. So this is how it looks. Okay, so the villagers have, access to clean portable water from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. And on Saturdays and Sundays, this facility is open to people from neighboring villages also. The people are actually expected to queue up on days when there are large crowds, and on such days, a boom barrier helps in controlling crowds. Your job in this is to raise the boom barriers by clicking on the A button chip, letting one person through by giving spaced taps on the person, like so, letting him into the house, closing the boom barriers, letting the person fill his water, and he will go out. Okay, so the boom barrier, the pump, and the lamps are all run on clean green energy, which are produced by both solar panels that are on top of the house right here, as well as these wind mills. Like they keep turning and they produce wind energy. As you can see, they produce wind energy like so. They keep turning around like this, and they work. Their codes are much similar to that of the solar panels. The solar panels have been installed keeping in mind the power consumption. And there is also, as I mentioned previously, there's a backup facility using the wind energy. So it's always running so that the energy is there in case of a power failure. And the wind energy provided by the windmills. So this has helped the villagers to not only have access to clean potable water, but it is also run efficiently on clean green, renewable energy, which is the goal of the UN Sustainable Development Goal. It's Goal 7, affordable and clean energy of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. I hope you liked the project and enjoyed watching my video. Do log on to polyup.com and challenge yourself to think and build such projects to help save our earth and environment and have a cleaner, greener world to live in. Thank you so much.
Indeed, this has been amazing. The solutions provided to each problem faced in the community by the students have been worth a while. We now have with us Dr. Kiran Datar, member of Inc. community and a well-known face in the field of education. She currently holds the position in the Board of Governors at DPS Daulatpur, Uttarakhand, and has also been the former Vice Chancellor of University of Delhi and advisor of National Knowledge Commission, Government of India. We welcome you, ma'am, and request you to say a few words to our students and audience present.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
What a wonderful morning this has been. I sat through all the different presentations, listened to the wonderful storytelling, and reflected. If you will pardon me, I'm going to share a little bit of personal reflection here. I think I have been an educator for so long, and people of my generation have looked at education in a particular way. I think it served us all fairly well. It served the kind of students that we were teaching fairly well. But one of the things that the last 2 years showed us very forcefully was that all that is in the past. What we need to do, both with education and with actually living today, is something that we have not been prepared for. It is, I know it is easy to talk in terms of challenges and to say that, every challenge has an opportunity, etc., etc. But I sit on the board of so many schools, and I saw what happened when suddenly the first lockdown hit. People had absolutely no idea what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, and what it actually meant to keep functioning, working meaningfully in a world which made very little sense. And I think that is what the last 2 years or so has taught us, that we need to be prepared not for the learning that we have all grown up with, but we have to prepare for a learning that we know very little about. But that is what we now have to grapple with. And one of the things that certainly we have learned is that what is going to be critical in that learning or in that stage that we are coming to is interconnectedness. The new education policy keeps talking about interdisciplinarity at an academic level. But it is not just that. I think it is interconnectedness at all levels. All of us who have spent a lifetime living have suddenly discovered communities. We've discovered our neighbors. We've discovered the force and the kind of strength that this interconnectedness can give us. What the pandemic showed us was that something starting as a very little problem in a particular area, in a particular country, in a particular city, spread in a manner where the entire world was engulfed. And then what it also showed us was that the solutions that have to be found for this or for the new world have to come from interconnectedness. And as I listened to these set of presentations, one of the things that struck me so forcefully was that here we have a living example of this. We have a group of entrepreneurs in the United States that have come together to look and fund at programs. We have an NGO in Bangalore, a wonderful NGO, Parikrama. We have these wonderful little children, 10 and 11 years old, that are actually joining to make that a reality. What can be a better example of the kind of interconnectedness in this, that people from all over the world should look at a particular problem, should look at how it's going to be resolved, and should involve people from different strata, different thinking, different communities, different thoughts in coming together. Isn't that the world that we all dream of, that we think is the world that we would like to live in? Being an educator for so long, and actually somebody who's actually been an educator in the humanities, my own training is in the humanities. But I can see so clearly today something that Amir said, that unless we are training our children today in a very holistic kind of education, which takes note of maths, logic, science, and the interconnectedness of this with the humanities, we are not really doing a good job with education. And that is the challenge that all of us as educators today have to face and come to grips with. So thank you, Inc. Thank you, the young children. Thank you, Jyoti, for that lovely story you told us. And thank you, PolyFest, for having put all this together. I had a wonderful morning and a very meaningful morning. And all I can really do is wish you all the very best in your different ventures. We look forward to a day when we have the model village you're talking about, when we have fresh, clean water for everybody, when we have a world when we are not engulfed with the garbage that we are all at the moment. And we look to a world where our little 10 and 11-year-olds are going to bring the solutions to it. So all the best and keep going. And thank you so much for having me here this morning to share my thoughts with you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your beautiful words. This is the time we acknowledge the talent of our winners for Spring Challenge 2021. And I take this opportunity to now declare the top 4 students at the leaderboard. The top 4 students of the leaderboard have joined us today. That's Ruchika, Nandara, Viraj, and Vignesh. I would like to call upon Ms. Kiran Datar, Mr. Sunil Tamran, and Mr. Akash to join me as we announce the winners. I now call upon Kiran to announce the 4th and the 3rd place of the leaderboard.
Are you asking me to do that? For you.
Akash.
Sorry. So the 4th place goes to Vignesh. Congratulations, Vignesh. And the third place goes to Ruchika.
Congratulations to you both, students. I now call upon Sunil to please announce the second place on the leaderboard.
Yeah, the second place goes to Nandara, and congratulations, Nandara.
Congratulations, Nandara. I now request Ms. Kiran to please announce the first position on the leaderboard.
Oh, well, the first position goes to Viraj, and many, many congratulations, Viraj. I'm sitting and clapping for you, and I'll be watching you in the years to come. All the very best and keep going.
Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations and a great applause to all of you. You have done really an amazing job. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me today.
Thank you. Stay well, everybody. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. All good things must come to an end, as must this event. As we conclude, I would like to thank each one of you who have been a part of this event. I thank all our INC community members for taking out time from their busy schedule and being with us today. Thank you, parents, students, teachers, and amazing school heads and administrations for your continuous support and encouragement. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our Rockstar Inc. team for being a pillar of strength, and without you, this event wouldn't have been a smooth running and a successful one. Before we leave, I would like to inform you that our next summer challenge will begin from 15th of July 2021. So hurry and register yourself for a fun experience. All the links are given in the description below. You can also visit our website www.indiayouthchallenge.org for further information. Thank you once again and hope to see you soon at the Summer Challenge. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.